Since we no longer cooperate with Noctua, I decided to purchase the new NF-A12x25G2 fans and test their performance on my Longwin fan testing machine. Although my review might be late, it will be the most comprehensive, so I recommend watching all of today's video. The 120mm G2 fan is the successor to the NF-A12x25, which has become outdated. It is made by Sterox LCP and it has 0.5mm tip clearance for optimal performance. Noctua provides a massive load of information on the product's page about its specifications and design choices, making it look like a plain propeller and not just a plain fan. Since I don't wish to dive into unnecessary details, I will get right to the point, which is the test data. The Noctua NF-A12x25G2 achieves a platinum rating in airflow and a titanium rating in static pressure on the cybernetics phi scale. The box is pretty large, leaving clues about the rich bundle that accompanies the fan. You might pay a lot, but at least you get a very rich bundle. The fan features 9 shades and its build quality is top-notch. The anti-vibration pads in its corners are large to absorb vibrations. I know that many of you hate the original Noctua colors, but I don't have a problem with them. They kind of look old school though. What makes an impression is the narrow gap between the tip of the fan blades and the fan's frame. The smaller this gap is, the more reduced is leakage flow, leading to higher pressure, increased efficiency, and wider stable operating range. Moreover, low tip clearances help to minimize noise generated by the interaction of airflow with the casing. The fan has the typical depth of 25mm and its connector is a standard 4-pin PWM. The daisy chain option is not available, but Noctua provides a PWM splitter in the bundle, which you can use to power two fans from the same header. It is not the same, though, as a daisy chain. I use an LW9266 fan PQ performance measurement apparatus to evaluate the performance of cooling fans. This highly sophisticated scientific instrument was made in Taiwan by Longwin. The maximum speed is notably lower than that of the previous model, but airflow and static pressure are notably improved. This clearly shows that the new design is more efficient. The output noise is low. Let's look now at the fan's frequency plots and the peak frequencies. 20% speed 5 kHz, 30% speed 5 kHz, 40% speed 4 kHz, 50% 400 Hz, 60% 500 Hz, 70% 400 Hz, 75% 400 Hz, 80% 800 Hz, 90% 500 Hz, 100% 500 Hz. The signal recordings. "20 decibels noise output, mid speed, high airflow, high static pressure, average power consumption. 25 decibels noise output, mid speed, high enough airflow, high static pressure, average power consumption. 30 decibels, low to mid speed, high enough airflow, high static pressure, and increased power consumption." Advertised versus real performance. Power requirements higher than advertised for maximum static pressure. Airflow lower than advertised. Static pressure lower than advertised. Noise higher than advertised. The Noctua NF-A12x25G2 is a super expensive fan, playing in the same price territory as the Fantex T30-120 and the Corsair RS-120 Max. This is why I decided to include in my charts these two fans despite their 30mm thickness, which is a great advantage for performance since there is room for a stronger motor and wider blades. Let's now look at 25 decibels noise normalized performance. I chose 25 decibels because it strikes a balance between being low enough not to annoy most users and high enough to allow for speeds that offer decent airflow and static pressure performance. At 25 decibels, the fan's airflow is high enough, and the same goes for its static pressure. Are these too high enough though to justify the high price? In my opinion, no. Although the NF-G2 delivers good performance in both airflow and static pressure, it doesn't excel in either of these areas. If you want to spend so much money and you don't have compatibility issues with 5mm more thickness, you should better go with the Fantex T30-120 or the Corsair RS-120 Max, both of which offer higher performance at both metrics, airflow and static pressure. If you want to remain at 25mm thickness and want to save $10 per fan, you can also get the Thermaltake Tough Fan 12 Pro, which offers better airflow and a bit lower static pressure compared to Noctua's offering. And lastly, suppose you care primarily about static pressure. In that case, there is the highly affordable Arctic P12 Pro, which delivers about 5 CFM lower airflow at 25 decibels normalized noise output. Still, its static pressure reading is way higher than Noctua's offering, and a single Arctic P12 Pro costs $8.5 on Amazon, where the NF-G2 is priced at $35. To wrap up today's review, the new Noctua NF-A12x25 G2 is a good fan, there is no doubt about that, with top-notch build quality and high performance at both airflow and static pressure, but there's always a but. I find it overpriced for what it offers. It doesn't distinguish in any performance metric, doesn't offer a daisy chain option, and lacks ARGB lighting, which could justify a part of its high price. Additionally, it costs the same as the Fantex T30-120 and the Corsair RS-120 Max, both of which come with stronger, better motors offering higher performance. I believe it's high time for Noctua to realize that the competition is way stronger now, offering equal, if not better performance at lower prices. So it has to adjust. More expensive doesn't always mean that you get more for your money. Thank you for watching today's review. Subscribe to our channel and till the next video. Bye bye.